Good afternoon, stand-in President, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow members, and guests. For my ninth speech, I've noticed I'm wearing down towards the end of the Competent Communicator book, and it's an exciting time because not only am I finishing one book with another speech after this, but I'm also moving towards another journey in another book to become a competent leader as well. So I'd like to persuade you all with this speech in tasks that we do on a daily basis in two different ways. And I'd like to persuade you all to side one way in every day moving forward. And I chose the topic multitasking versus monotasking because it's something that we all do every day. On your commute to work, when you're driving in the car, that's considered monotasking if you're solely just driving. Now when you incorporate talking on the cell phone and driving at the same time, it's considered multitasking. Ideally as well, if you're answering an email at work and you field a phone call, that's considered multitasking. Whereas if you're reading a book, solely reading that book, it would be considered monotasking. So for multitasking, people that side with multitasking feel that you're able to accomplish many tasks at one point in period. You're able to switch back and forth between different things, which allows you to complete large-scale projects if you have a lot to do. Like I noted earlier, you can send an email, answering a phone call, you can even give a speech while talking on your phone or typing through sending a message. All of that is considered multitasking. Now ideally, the opposite spectrum, there's monotasking. Now, like the name implies, the prefix implies, it's mono, which is singular. It's doing one thing and having a focus on one single thing. Using the example of reading a book, you're focused primarily in the words that you're reading and you're getting a good understanding of the literature. There's no distractions and there's no interruptions. And that's the main key point in monotasking. And for these reasons, I would like for you all to incorporate monotasking in your daily lives. I, for one, feel that when you monotask, it engages your brain. When somebody multitasks, you're having to switch from one thing to the next. Say you're reading an email and have to answer a phone call. When you choose to answer that phone call, you have to leave the email and the content from which you retained in your brain and switch it over to answer this phone call. And once this phone call is over, you have to not only remember what you've just been typing and emailing, but also have to most likely reread everything to get an understanding to be able to progress forward to complete that. Now, if you were to eliminate that distraction of the phone call that you received and continue to do the email, you would be able to complete that task, and not only that, you'd be able to retain the information from which you started. When people monotask, they're engaging your brain. Our brains aren't built to dual process tasks like a computer would say. A computer is built to be able to multitask and be able to do dual processing, whereas the human brain is primarily focused to do a single task. We're not supposed to be confusing ourselves and doing different things. We're really confusing our brain. So by doing monotasking, you're really allowing yourself to get a full world view and retain information, and which is the key point in monotasking. I don't know how many of you had seen when I was giving examples of multitasking when I pulled out my phone. I think when people multitask, sometimes you lose credibility, and primarily with that example, because I don't know how many of you, if somebody was giving a speech and just pulled out their cell phone and kind of started to text on it mid-speech, you would kind of not think that they're interested or engaged, rather. And when you incorporate monotasking, you're able to eliminate that distraction and be able to really promote a positive message to your audience. Now, I don't know how somebody would be able to text and be able to talk at the same time, because I could barely get my phone out to be able to look at it during this speech. So I really encourage all of you moving forward in your daily lives, because we all do some type of task in our days. whether it be at work, at home, or all in between. And in those tasks, you have the option to do multiple ones at once and try to complete them all, or you have the option to solely focus on one. And so I encourage all of you to eliminate those multitask projects and to start and to be persuaded to start doing monotask projects. Thank you.
I apologize, forgot to also introduce